Hello, my lovely listeners. I hope you are all well. I was away for a little bit and I haven't recorded episodes on Sundays as I usually would like to because I was on a little break. I was on holidays and I was enjoying nature and I was reading spiritual books so then I can bring them back to you. And I always think about ways and tools and my own triggers in a way that I can share it with you, and thinking about what I am learning about myself through the experiences that I go through, what it brings up, and then how can I share it with you so that it could be valuable for you, or it could help you with something, or it could bring up some thoughts for you and help you to, I guess, overcome obstacles and hopefully be more happy, understand yourself a little bit more, or just to spark some conversation with your friends maybe sometimes about life and how we react in certain ways and how are we creators of our own reality. And that's actually what I would like to start with. How are we creators of our own reality? I had this conversation with a friend of mine, and the main thing is that when we talk about creating our own reality and creating what we want, is that someone comes in and says, oh, I just wish for a red Ferrari just in front of my house, and then why next day or in a couple of weeks I don't have this red Ferrari. What I say to that and what I feel and through what I've read is that the question to ask yourself is, first of all, do you really want a red Ferrari, or are you testing the universe? Is that something that your soul, your heart, your purpose requires? And if so, why is that? Is that because you would like to impress someone? Is that because that's the symbol for you that you made it? Is that because you simply love Ferraris? And how you go about it? Do you just sit down and wait for this to happen? For someone to come and give you this red Ferrari, or do you actually make a plan, set up goals, and the actual most important thing is, do you believe in that? Do you believe in that? Or do you say, I want the red Ferrari, but I know I'm not going to get this red Ferrari ever, is a joke. So if you come with this mindset, then it's obvious you are giving this message to the universe. And I'm obviously simplifying things, and saying it in a kind of jokingly way. But what we really want, what we are determined to get, and what we believe that we are worthy of, that can very easily come to us, or it might take some time, and it might take some perseverance and struggle. But if there is something that our soul, our heart requires to be, and I use this phrase, a better version of itself, then the belief, the faith, the perseverance are the tools and the ways to get that. And like I've mentioned, the reasoning for this, if it comes from you, if it comes from your core, if it comes from your soul and from your heart, and it's not for someone to appreciate you or to say that you are a better person or to admire you. Obviously, it could be an effect of whatever you required, if it's a certain way of living, or I don't know, getting some sort of education, or really succeeding in a business, or being this sort of person for another person, or attracting love or attracting abundance. Why? The first thing is always ask yourself, why do I want that? What is in me that really requires that? And also the second thing is, how am I going to feel when I get that? How am I going to feel when all those wishes come true? What state am I going to be in? The other really interesting thing is also about people who have really desired something, and once they committed whole life to get that, and then once they get that, they kind of lose the goal and almost lose the will to live, because they achieved whatever they wanted to achieve, and either just shrug it off and said, oh, was that really something that I was trying to get? Is that really my aim? I thought I was going to feel much more elated, much more happy, and now it just becomes a norm, like this is nothing special. And this is something that I've experienced, but of course I'm very grateful for that. But this is something what I've experienced when I've got my flat. I was either living with someone always, or renting, and having quite hard or stressful living situation. That there was always, when you're renting, you never know when the rent is gonna go up, whatever the person who owns the house, the property, is going to say. When you own your own property, it should bring you more freedom. It should bring you more, just for me, it brought me more freedom. I was proud of this. I created my own, like a temple. I could decorate it however I wanted. And it's a place where I am supposed to be, or where I retreat to be, to rest, and it's my little temple. But when I first got this flat, and when I first got the keys, I was so elated and I was so happy. And I remember I was inhaling the smell of the new smell of the paint and of the woodwork and everything from this flat. And it was just I was just so happy. And then slowly, it probably took a year. Now I am looking to possibly move out, because I exceeded this dream. So this is something that I wished for the place where I was then, and now I am trying and I am manifesting a second place where, while appreciating and loving this place, but trying to get to the place when it's going to be quiet, when I would be able to have more room possibly, and more space for my pets, and they would be able to go out to the garden and explore the world. So and the steps that I'm doing to do that are the admin steps. So getting finance in order, or trying to get the finance in order, looking around for deals, looking around for an actual place where to live, and kind of really setting my eye on the goal, while also going through the fear of, oh, but I'm comfortable in this flat, it's so convenient, I can go everywhere, there's good transport, there are good shops, it's not so far from work, it's sort of in the center of things. Like, why am I, and the prices are going up, and why am I to move? I'm living comfortably here. So going out of your comfort zone, or I am trying to go out of my comfort zone is something that, again, you'd have to face. And obviously, I would like to invite all my friends there, and I love having dinners and having friends over, but I'm not doing it to show off or to be like, oh, I have an amazing flat. I'm doing it for myself and to make my pets feel more comfortable, and maybe possibly, I don't know, get more pets, and to have more quiet space and to have more physical space to maybe set up a studio to pursue my artwork, to pursue my creative activities. So all of this is kind of pushing me to look for opportunities, and this is when I believe the miracles also start to happen, when you are really sort of set up and you know exactly what you want, or almost exactly, and you believe in yourself and you believe in universe and you do whatever is in your power to do. Obviously, I'm not gonna manifest oh, well, I'm saying that, but who knows? So I'm not gonna spell it out. But let's say there is a huge amount of money coming tomorrow to my wallet. How am I in receiving that? Am I open to receive that? What feelings does it bring in me? Obviously, this would change my life, this would change your life. And the change as itself in a change is not always easy. The change is a change. And especially a sudden change. So are you ready for this change? And we know the stories and the ways that people changed if they hit fame overnight. It did not really have a good effect on them, because such a sudden big change might be very that's an ice cream van just musically going next to my flat. But like I was saying, the sudden change, the sudden fame is could be hard on your nervous system, could be hard on you needing to adjust very quickly and going from one level to 5 levels up or side, or whatever you want to know, whatever you see it. If for you getting whatever huge amount of money is actually going up the level. It is if you go with this money as a human being, as your development and your consciousness and your emotional development. But that's hard, because this is something that you can only develop slowly or slower than just getting a big amount of money. So ask yourself, how would you feel if you get this money? What would change in your life? How prepared are you for those changes? What would you do first? How would people, your family and people around you react? And this is, I guess, subconscious also programming, that we feel or we think that we want some things, but also there is a side of us that is afraid and is operating on some trauma or some fear that does not really want that, and going back or is afraid to receive that. And going back to this conversation with my friend who was asking about the red Ferrari, was I sort of said to her that she had everything she always wanted, and she doesn't really want red Ferrari. What would she do with it? I mean, and what she wants and what she has got at the moment is a quiet, comfortable life, a really good, attentive husband, good kids, nice house, couple of pets, and meeting with her friends every now and then, just a nice, comfortable life, really, and the excitement that and obviously she's got her hobbies, and she climbed mountains, and she is interested in spirituality as well, and development. But deep down, that's what the core need is, of having this comfortable family life and the really good husband. And this is exactly what she has got. And now going out of this would be going out of her comfort zone and requiring more. I don't know how ready she is for this more. Everything she was saying she wanted to go to Ibiza, and she was thinking about it for a long time, and finally she was able to go to Ibiza, and it was everything she or almost everything she thought it was going to be, but it was also lots of parties and nightlife, and different things that maybe she didn't want to really be believing so much, or be in that as much as she thought when she was a bit younger. So all those aspects, and this did happen, and we kind of don't pay attention to, let's say, little things like this. If we want whatever it is, an object usually, or a meeting with a person, and we don't appreciate that this is something that I really wanted. Oh, I get it. Yeah, obviously, because I wanted it, so I got it. And things sometimes, when they come really quickly and manifest itself really quickly, we don't even pay attention. Do pay attention that, because this is universe responding. This is universe giving you what you wanted, what you really wanted, in the way that you didn't say, I don't have it. You just said, I really want it. I'm gonna get it one day. And that's what happened. And I wanted also to talk about my admiration to people who are really committed, and in this commitment they don't see obstacles ever. They just know deep down, this is their soul calling. They just know deep down that they are going to get something, and that's what it is. And I know of people like this. I don't necessarily like them. Well, it's not that I don't like them. I don't admire them as people, but I admire and I see this determination. And I had a couple of people, one like that, who said that he was going to have the biggest real estate company when he was 20 years old, and he set up a computer in a room, and then his friend or his wife or his girlfriend at the time, which actually was the friend with the red Ferrari, but that's beside the point. She was looking at him and thinking, you and your one computer in the room, what you gonna do with that? But he went from that because he never thought that it is not gonna happen. He just believed in it, and I cannot find any other words. He just knew. It's the knowledge that you know, and you don't listen to other people, whatever they say. How many times I've heard, oh, that I am up in the sky, I should walk on earth more, I am just there with angels, I am hanging from the tree, whatever, I'm just not grounded, and I'm living in a la la land. I've heard it so many times, and it was said from people who are like, who are grounded, who have certain rules, and I am not like that. And I like living in La La Land. That's my land. I know and I recognize other realities, and I don't care if someone is going to laugh at this. That's my life, and that's how I like to see the reality. Is that maybe sometimes harder? Maybe, but I feel like life just being so how do I say that? Just being so rigid and not seeing not seeing the multiple levels and not seeing the subtle colors and not being a little bit fairy-like, for me, that's not my life. I appreciate that everyone has got their own, but this is me and this is what I believe in. So that's what this guy believed, and he believed he was going to have the biggest real estate in the north part of the country, and he did that, and he sold that, and then he set up another one. And what my friend said was that he didn't really look for idols. He was his own biggest idol. He sort of never believed in anyone, that anyone can give him the advice. He, from somewhere, I don't know where he had this this power, this energy from. If he was born like this, if it was something given to him by his parents, he just had the power to realize that, to realize his potential. Maybe he was born with this potential. And I recognize in myself that I sometimes do listen to people too much, and I do try to adjust, and I do try to fit in, and this is sometimes how I lose my standing, because and on the other side, I know I might not belong, or this is not my place, and this kind of throws me off as well. So I don't know if you're finding yourself in this experience, that sometimes deep down your intuition tells you, is that really your place? Is that really where you belong? But your bills, your commitments, your whatever just keeps you there, and you are like, no, I'm living on earth, I have to participate, I have to do that. And then when time allows, I'm gonna do something else that is my heart calling, but and I do that anyway, even though some people may laugh, even though some people might not understand that, or even though some people might leave me because of that, and laugh it off, I'm still going to do that. So yeah, I still struggle with that, and but on the other hand, I so don't care. I'm just going to persevere, and I'm just going to do that anyway. So this is my manifesting. This podcast is my manifesting, and talking to you is my manifesting. So if you are looking for a sign, this is your sign as well, to just do it. And if you think, oh, it's not gonna happen, then leave it for some, and do something else that you can think, actually, I don't care if part of me thinks it's not gonna happen, because my intuition tells me that's what I need to do. It doesn't make sense, it's maybe funny, maybe it's so different to what anyone else is thinking, but I have to try it, and try it a couple of times. Don't give up after one time. It's not, you've heard and you've seen a lot of people who submitted their manuscripts, or who are trying for a role, or became an actor late, or if you are very young, you have a long way in front of you. If you are a little bit older, it doesn't matter. It's still fun trying. It's still time when you learn about yourself, when you are being rejected over and over and over again, and this rejection hurts like hell, but it makes you stronger. It makes you sometimes even more empathetic, because you look at those people and you kind of see in their hearts where this rejection comes from, and it comes very often from not understanding. Other times it comes from the simple thing that this is not actually your way, so try it a little bit differently. Try it in the same field, in the same area, but from a little bit different angle, and just don't give up. And if you give up, you can pause it as well, or you can pause it. You can then you can give up, and you can try a different angle, if you give up, don't be hard on yourself and just say, I've done it, I gave it my all. I don't have anything else at the moment. I'm trying to do something else. What is my soul calling? Or I just need a little break. And maybe I come back to it, but maybe I just thought that was my calling, but it's not really. But don't do it straight away. Just give it a little bit more time and see how you feel about it. And then if you feel really bad, sleep on it, give it a break, and then come back again refreshed. Or speak to someone about this. Speak to your friend, or speak to GPT. That helps sometimes as well, because it's actually quite, mine is, I don't know how is your version going, but mine is quite empathetic. Is actually very, very, very empathetic. And sometimes when you cannot hear those words from anyone else, is nice to hear it from, I guess, the data on the internet, or however you call it, that there is this way of understanding you and support you and encourage you, because that's what it does. ChatGPT, it does encourage me, yeah, that's my view. It is supportive, but anyway, I didn't want to talk about this. And just another thought, I had many more. Oh, one more I wanted to say is that I am in this new situation for me, and it does bring a lot of triggers and a lot of fears, and I recognize them from the past, and I am not very pleased with myself, because I sort of behave the same as if I never had any lessons for the last 7 years or so, or even for the whole of my life. But also I'm so happy because I can stand kind of on the side and observe it more, and I think that's the meditation. That's the meditation routine that I was doing. I also think that I have manifested this in a way, and this is what I was talking about, manifesting. But when it comes, then it's quite hard. Then it's like, okay, it's there, it is here now. What am I going to do with it? Like, how is my life? Was I ready for it? It's actually a little bit scary. Imagine you becoming famous and all the people saying good things and bad things about you. What would happen to you? Your nervous system is not really, our nervous system is not really wired for that. It's quite fragile. So that's what's happening in my nervous system. I was manifesting something. I was saying that I am ready for this, and now it's kind of happening, and I am riddled with fear. I am kind of swaying from one side to another. Do I really want this? I was so comfortable before, and I didn't have to think about certain things, and now I have it, and there is a million other things to consider, and almost like what I brought upon myself. I was really manifesting this, and is looming on the horizon. It may be there is possibility. How am I finding myself? I have to become a different person, or I have to face my fears again, the ones that I had hidden for some time because I was comfortable in where I was. And then if the manifestation goes away, that's scary as well, because that's a rejection. That's something that I wanted, and is it really what I wanted? Is it something else that I want? Do I have to adjust my manifestation? I don't know. So I am trusting the universe. I am calming my nervous system down. I am really speaking to my inner child that is okay, and I've got it, and I never leave it, and I love it very much, and yeah. And just riding this wave and speaking to friends and speaking to you, and yes, calming myself in every possible way, and drinking lots of water. That's really important as well. I am in this kind of nervous state that it's sort of quite hard to meditate as well, because my mind is racing so much that I almost have trouble sleeping. So yes, and the thing that I wanted to leave you with is the inner. I was talking about inner children, and I'm reading this book that's called Why Woo Woo Works, which the author is David R. Hamilton, PhD. And he explains in the book why things work like crystals and hypnotherapy and all the lovely things that I love and I talk about here in a quite scientific way, actually, mentioning placebo and just it's just very enjoyable book, because he's not like this works because this works and this is woo-woo, and no, he actually explains the physics of this. He brings up some scientific research and he gives you numbers, and does it in a way that the kind of in a gentle way, not like a crazy way, this is I think David is also yes, definitely he is a scientist who talks about sound and sound frequency, which you can also scientifically measure and measure how the sound impacts objects around it, because sound is a wave, so you can definitely measure it. So and he was mentioned kids and how kids are born with this I can do everything motion. They can be a king, they can be a queen, they can rule the universe, they speak to unicorns, they see things that no one else sees, and then we take it away from them. We say, oh, don't be silly, you cannot fly, like be careful, you're gonna fall off, or you don't have this magic, whatever. And obviously not all the parents, but it's slowly the world around us, it justifies it. It kind of tells you, no, you cannot do it, you don't have all this power. And he is saying that we are born, we remember this power, because as a being, as a light beings, as eternal beings, we were able to do that. And when we are born, we still retain some of those memories, and that's why I love kids so much. And there were two things that happened to me, the two little stories that I loved. So one, I was in these public showers that I was using when I was on my holidays, and there were two girls and they were talking, and I think they were around 10 or 11, and one girl said to the other, if you could leave in any time you wanted, any time in the entirety of the times, when would you like to leave? Leave meaning be. And the girl said, now. I would like to leave now, to be in now. And I was thinking, that's so true, because that's where you are and that's where you were brought. Why would you want to leave somewhere else and it's some other time? It wasn't your time. Your time is now, and the children know it. And with everything bad that's happening, and we are so scared of different things, ask yourself, where would you like to live? If you could live in the entirety of life and the universe, where would you be? And I'm also thinking about my family wouldn't be there, my friends wouldn't be there, my pets wouldn't be there. I don't know. I can only imagine how it would be living there. But anyway, I thought that was very sweet and kind of answered some of my questions, and it was as if the universe was speaking to me through those kids. And then another one was when I was swimming in the lake, and then there was empty beach, and on the beach there was only father with two little sons, and there was like a little bridge or the pier, kind of two-sided pier, and on one side there was for people, and the other side was sort of broken and you couldn't go on this, but there was still boards on, and on the boards there was a little duck sitting on these boards, and on the lake, a wooden boards, little duck, and it was kind of there outside of the water, just sitting and sleeping, or and the child goes ask father, why is this duck there? And the child has a little lisp that I cannot say that here in English, but it was so cute. And the dad said, the duck is a duck, is a duck. And the child said, the duck is waiting for someone to hug her. And I thought, that's lovely. And I thought, that's me very often. I am just waiting for someone to hug me. And that's how the child sees the world, that sees the lonely duck. And that's the first thing that comes to the mind. So if you are a lonely duck that's waiting for a hug today, I send you a virtual hug. That's so corny. I send you a big virtual fuzzy hug, or go and hug someone if it's your pet, or hug yourself, and think about this. Think about the manifesting, and think about what it is that you'd like, and the feeling that you'd like for this manifesting to bring, and don't be afraid. Thank you so much. I speak to you soon. Bye bye. Don't forget to give this a like or share it. I'd really appreciate. Bye bye.